As Mayor of Barwick, I would like to welcome you today as we come to honor one of our most illustrious citizens, Mr. Thad Selman. Our city is proud to be home to a gentleman who, as part of the greatest generation, proudly served his country during World War II as one of 50 members chosen to be in the United States Army's parachute test platoon formed July 5, 1940. He later served this city as mayor and councilman. The city of Barwick proudly presents this tribute to Mr. Thad Selman to recognize and honor his service to his country and this city.
Let's talk a little bit about the history of the test platoon. The call for volunteers was issued at the Reveille formation of the 29th Infantry Regiment on 26 June 1940. The men were warned of the high risk they would be taking. The risk was so high that married men were not accepted. Undaunted, over 200 men had volunteered by 0830 hours. At officers' call that morning, volunteers were asked to fill the position of platoon leader. 17 officers volunteered. The physical training was tough from the very beginning and has been ever since. As they came to the last week of training, one test remaining, the jump. In fact, the jump would be 5 jumps, the satisfactory completion of which would establish the paratroopers' qualification. There was no doubt that Lieutenant Ryder, as leader, would be first to jump, but who would be the first enlisted man to jump? All wanted this honor. Sergeant Wade, the platoon sergeant, settled the argument by placing 47 numbers in his steel helmet and having each man draw a slip. The number on the slip designated the spot the drawer jumped in. On the morning of 16 August 1940, the jump began. The fifth and final qualifying jump was a mass jump of the entire platoon from 3 planes flying in column formation. Secretary of War, Mr. Henry L. Stimson, and Army Chief of Staff, George C. Marshall, led a group of VIPs who gathered at Lawson Field to witness this historic occasion. The event went off well with one exception. Private Leo Brown was the last man to jump. He landed on the roof of the parachute hangar and had to be rescued by using a ladder. Now the trail had been blazed. The 501st Parachute Battalion was formed soon after, and the paratrooper was now an integral part of the Army. So the test platoon was parent of the 501st Parachute Battalion. The formation of the 501st Parachute Battalion was approved the following month.
And so we are so proud to be the family of a man who blazed a trail. Started out with 48 people in 1940, and just a few, 4 short years later, thousands who served in World War II, and the head of the War Department in 1945 went back and wrote a letter commending those 48 men for what they had done to blaze the trail that helped America to become successful for the Allied forces. So thank you, Granddad.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lieutenant Colonel Cummings. I'm the current commander of the 1st Battalion, 507th Parachute Infantry Regiment, and I'm here with our Command Sergeant Major Chip Mezzaline, and together with us and a lot of great instructors and riggers at Pack Parachutes, we train your nation's soldiers, airmen, Marine, and Navy folks that need to learn how to jump out of an airplane. That's what we teach them how to do. And we graduated 437 of them yesterday, and we stand there yesterday at Eubanks Field where we did that graduation on a place called Airborne Walk because of men like Mr. Selman. And sir, it is a deep privilege for us to be here today to recognize you, to thank you for your service and for what you did for our nation and brought this legacy to where I am here today. Without you, I would literally not be here.
30 years of active service, retired as a warrant officer. Thad is a master parachutist. I'm not saying he's the oldest living parachutist, just the oldest living first parachutist. Last year it was confirmed that he was the last surviving member of the platoon. So to me and others, it was only fitting that we honor him with something to be everlasting.
The man who was supposed to be #1, when he dropped it, jumped out to check the wind drift and that sort of thing, the chute didn't open.
Uh-oh.
So that had a serious effect on him.
I bet.
That's the reason he didn't jump. So, you know, they told you about him circling the plane, giving him a chance, and then finally Red was the #2 man, jumped out.
What number were you?
I don't remember. I was on the first plane load. I think maybe I really don't remember. I have been told I was #7, but well, that's sure not. I don't
Gotcha.
remember.
But you were one of the first ones
Oh,
to
yeah.
go.